The massive Xeraxian warships emerged from hyperspace like dark meteors against the backdrop of Earth's atmosphere. Their hulls, covered in crystalline armor that seemed to absorb light itself, stretched for kilometers across the void. At the helm of the lead vessel, High Commander Draketh stood with his forearms clasped behind his back, his scaled skin reflecting the dim light of the bridge as he observed the blue planet below. Such a primitive world, he mused, his voice carrying the characteristic metallic undertone of his species. They still use fossil fuels and basic ion propulsion. This conquest will be swift. But on Earth, in the hidden command center deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, Captain Marcus Rhodes watched the alien fleet's arrival with a knowing smile. The 45-year-old veteran of Earth's Special Space Forces had been preparing for this moment for the past decade. His weathered face, marked by a distinctive scar running along his right jaw, remained calm as he assessed the tactical displays. "They've taken the bait," he said, turning to his second-in-command, Major Olivia Winters. "Just like we predicted, their scans are only picking up our decoy technology." Olivia nodded, her dark eyes fixed on the holographic display showing the Xeraxian fleet's formation. "All 30 defense bases are reporting ready, Captain. The Phantom Protocol is in effect." For years, humanity had maintained a carefully crafted facade of technological inferiority. While the galaxy believed Earth was still struggling with basic space travel, underground facilities across the planet had been developing technologies that would revolutionize warfare. The Phantom Protocol was humanity's greatest deception, a planetary-wide cloaking system that hid their true military might. High Commander Draketh's first indication that something was wrong came when his fleet's initial scan of Earth's defenses showed inconsistencies. "These readings cannot be correct," he growled, his upper arms manipulating the control panels while his lower arms gripped his command chair. "Run the scans again." But before his crew could comply, the first phase of Earth's defense plan sprang into action. Hundreds of quantum-linked satellites, previously invisible to Xeraxian sensors, activated simultaneously. A web of energy fields materialized around the planet, creating a defensive network unlike anything the Empire had encountered. Captain Rhodes's voice echoed through the global command channel. "All units, Operation Thunderbolt is now in effect. Show them what humanity is really capable of." From hidden bases in the Arctic, Pacific, and Sahara, Earth's true fleet emerged. The ships were smaller than the Xeraxian vessels but incorporated technology that defied the Empire's understanding of physics. Their hulls were covered in adaptive metamaterials that could change properties in real time, making them nearly impossible to target effectively. "Impossible," Draketh roared as his tactical display erupted with new contacts. "Where did these ships come from? Their energy signatures, they're not using standard propulsion systems." Major Winters coordinated the first strike from her station. "All Phantom squadrons, execute attack pattern Delta. Remember your training, these aren't the simulations anymore." Earth's ships moved with unprecedented agility, using quantum propulsion systems that allowed them to appear to be in multiple places simultaneously. The Xeraxian targeting systems, designed to track conventional vessels, couldn't maintain locks on the human ships. Captain Rhodes watched as the first engagement unfolded. Earth's vessels, commanded by pilots who had trained their entire lives for this moment, executed complex maneuvers that seemed to defy the laws of physics. The Xeraxian fleet, despite their superior numbers and firepower, found themselves unable to effectively counter these tactics. "Their shields are based on predictable energy patterns," Rhodes explained to his command staff. "Our phase-shift weapons will cut right through them. Begin the attack runs." The first wave of Earth's attack proved devastating. Beams of concentrated quantum energy, developed in secret laboratories beneath the Antarctic ice, sliced through the Xeraxian shields as if they weren't there. Several of the Empire's smaller vessels exploded in spectacular fashion, their crystalline armor shattering into space. High Commander Draketh's confidence had evaporated, replaced by a growing sense of dread. How is this possible? They were supposed to be primitives. These weapons, this technology, it's beyond anything in our databases. The truth was becoming clear. Humanity had orchestrated the greatest military deception in galactic history. While the Empire had watched Earth with dismissive superiority, humans had been preparing, innovating, and developing technologies that would reshape the balance of power in the galaxy. Major Winters reported from her station, "Captain, the Xeraxian fleet is attempting to regroup. Their communication patterns suggest they're calling for reinforcements." Rhodes nodded grimly. Good, let them call. It's time the galaxy learned that humanity isn't just another conquest waiting to happen. Launch the Spectre drones. Thousands of autonomous combat drones, each powered by quantum AI cores, deployed from hidden orbital platforms. These machines, smaller than fighter craft but carrying devastating weaponry, swarmed through the Xeraxian fleet like angry wasps, targeting crucial systems with precise strikes. High Commander Dracoth watched in horror as his mighty fleet was systematically dismantled by an enemy he had grievously underestimated. All ships, emergency retreat. We must warn the Empire, these humans, they're not what we thought they were. But Captain Rhodes had no intention of letting the Xeraxian fleet escape to warn others. Major Winters, activate the quantum net. They need to understand that attacking Earth was their last mistake. A web of quantum-entangled energy fields sprang to life around the battlefield, trapping the Xeraxian ships in a zone where their faster-than-light drives couldn't function. The trap was complete, and humanity's first major victory in the Galactic War was about to be written in the stars. As the battle reached its climax, Captain Rhodes stood at his command station, his voice firm as he addressed his forces. Today, we show the galaxy that humanity will not bow to tyranny. We are not weak. We are not primitive. We are humanity, and we're just getting started. The message was clear. Earth's awakening had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same again. The Xeraxian Empire's worst nightmare had come true. They had attacked a sleeping giant, and now they would face the consequences of their arrogance. The news of High Commander Dracoth's defeat spread through the Xeraxian Empire like wildfire. In the grand chambers of the Imperial Palace on Xerax Prime, Emperor Vexther's crystalline throne pulsed with angry red energy as he received the reports. His segmented eyes narrowed to slits as he processed the unthinkable. A supposedly primitive world had not only resisted, but thoroughly defeated one of his most experienced fleet commanders. "Assemble the Imperial War Council," he commanded, his voice echoing through the cathedral-like chamber. "This, Earth requires our immediate attention." Meanwhile, in Earth's orbital command station, Olympus, Admiral Victoria Hayes stood before a holographic display of the solar system. At 50 years old, with silver-streaked black hair and cybernetic augmentations visible along her temples, she embodied humanity's blend of experience and technological advancement. The station, hidden in plain sight disguised as a defunct satellite, served as humanity's primary strategic command center. "The Xeraxians will return," she addressed her gathered command staff, "and this time they'll bring everything they have. Fortunately, that's exactly what we've been waiting for." Lieutenant Commander Raj Patel, head of Earth's Quantum Intelligence Division, stepped forward. His dark skin contrasted with the bright holographic displays surrounding him. "Admiral, our quantum arrays have detected massive fleet movements in Xeraxian space. They're mobilizing on a scale we've never seen before." Hayes smiled, an expression that held both confidence and determination. "Perfect. Begin Phase 2 of the Lazarus Protocol. It's time to show them our real fleet." Deep within the dark side of the moon, massive hangar doors began to open, revealing humanity's greatest military achievement, the Thanatos fleet. These ships, constructed in absolute secrecy over the past 15 years, represented the pinnacle of human military technology. Unlike the defensive vessels used in the first battle, these were built for one purpose: offensive warfare. The flagship of this hidden armada, the HSS Prometheus, emerged first. Nearly 2 kilometers in length, its hull was composed of self-repairing nanomaterials that could adapt to any form of attack. Commander Nathan Drake, a veteran of countless covert operations against alien incursions, stood on its bridge watching as his crew prepared for humanity's first major offensive. "All systems online," reported his tactical officer, Lieutenant Jessica Chen. "Quantum cores at full capacity. The fleet is ready for synchronized jump." In the Imperial Palace, Emperor Vexther reviewed the battle plans with his war council. "We will crush these humans with overwhelming force," he declared, his upper arms gesturing at the tactical displays while his lower arms gripped his war staff. "Send in the 9th, 12th, and 15th fleets. 3,000 ships should be sufficient to reduce their world to ash." But the Empire's arrogance would prove to be their undoing once again. As their massive armada emerged from hyperspace near Earth's orbit, they found themselves facing not a cowering primitive world, but a fully prepared defensive network that extended far beyond their expectations. Admiral Hayes's voice carried across all command channels. "All ships, execute Operation Hydra. Show them why humanity has survived every extinction-level event our planet has thrown at us." The Thanatos fleet revealed itself in a carefully choreographed ambush. Ships seemed to materialize from nowhere as their quantum camouflage systems deactivated. The Xeraxian fleet, despite its impressive numbers, suddenly found itself surrounded on multiple vectors. Commander Drake's voice was steady as he gave the order. All ships engage at will, deploy the Chimera weapons. The Chimera system was humanity's answer to the Empire's superior numbers, self-replicating weapon platforms that could adapt their attack patterns based on the enemy's defensive capabilities. As the platforms deployed, they began analyzing and countering Xeraxian shield frequencies in real time. "Impossible," screamed the Xeraxian fleet commander, watching as his ship's supposedly impenetrable shields were systematically dismantled. Their technology, it's evolving during the battle. Admiral Hayes monitored the engagement from Olympus Station, her augmented eyes processing tactical data streams at superhuman speeds. "Launch the Nemesis squadrons," she ordered. "Let's show them why you should never corner a species that turned their own planet's hostile environment into a cradle of civilization." The Nemesis fighters were unlike anything the galaxy had seen before. Piloted by crews who had undergone extensive genetic and cybernetic enhancement, these vessels could pull maneuvers that would kill an unaugmented pilot. They moved through space like water, their quantum drives allowing them to appear to be in multiple places simultaneously. Lieutenant Commander Patel's quantum intelligence networks provided real-time analysis of the battle. The Empire's fleet is attempting to establish a new formation. They're trying to adapt to our attack patterns. "Too late," Hayes responded. "Execute the Tartarus Protocol." Throughout the solar system, hidden quantum beacons activated, creating a complex web of interdiction fields. The Xeraxian fleet found their ship systems becoming increasingly unreliable as quantum interference disrupted their targeting systems and communication networks. Commander Drake aboard the Prometheus led the main assault. "All ships concentrate fire on their command vessels, don't let them coordinate their defense." The battle that followed would be remembered as the moment the galaxy realized that humanity was not merely defending itself. It was revealing itself as a major power. The Thanatos fleet's advanced technology, combined with tactics that had been refined through millennia of human warfare, proved devastating against the rigid combat doctrine of the Empire. As the Xeraxian fleet began to crumble, Admiral Hayes transmitted a message on all frequencies. "To the Xeraxian Empire, this is just a fraction of humanity's strength. We have survived ice ages, asteroid impacts, and our own destructive nature. We have turned our harsh world into our greatest teacher. If you continue this war, you will learn why Earth species are the apex predators of their world." The message was clear. Humanity's hidden strength had been revealed, and the galaxy would never be the same. The Empire's worst nightmare was unfolding before their eyes, and this was only the beginning of their reckoning with the species they had so gravely underestimated. The crystalline halls of the Imperial Palace on Xerax Prime echoed with Emperor Vexther's roar of rage. The loss of 3 entire fleets had shaken the Empire to its core. His 4 arms trembled as he activated a secure transmission to Grand Admiral Zykin, commander of the Imperial Home Fleet. "Deploy everything," the Emperor commanded, his segmented eyes pulsing with fury. "I want the full might of our Empire to crush these humans, show them what true power means." Unknown to the Empire, every transmission they sent was being intercepted and analyzed by Earth's quantum intelligence networks. In the Deep Space Command Vessel, Hyperion, Commander Marcus Way, leader of Earth's Special Warfare Division, studied the decoded messages with intense interest. His cybernetically enhanced mind processed the tactical implications at superhuman speed. "They're mobilizing their entire home fleet," Way reported to Admiral Hayes. 7,000 ships, including their planet-killer vessels, they're going all in. Hayes's holographic projection nodded grimly. "Then it's time for Phase 3, deploy the Atlas Defense Grid. Commander Way, you have operational authority for Project Prometheus." Project Prometheus was humanity's ultimate defensive weapon, developed in secret beneath the surface of Mercury. The entire planet had been converted into a massive energy collection and weapons platform, masked by quantum fields to appear as nothing more than a barren world. The Xeraxian armada emerged from hyperspace in waves, their ships blackening the space around Earth's solar system. Grand Admiral Zykin, his crystalline armor gleaming on the bridge of his super dreadnought Imperial Might, believed victory was assured through sheer numbers alone. "Begin the bombardment," Zykin ordered. Show these primitives the consequence of defying the Empire. But as the Xeraxian fleet moved into attack position, Commander Wei initiated humanity's response. Activate the Atlas Grid. All units execute Operation Olympian Thunder. Thousands of seemingly dormant satellites throughout the solar system suddenly came to life. These weren't simple defensive platforms. They were nodes in an interconnected energy web that could redirect and amplify any attack back at the aggressor. The first wave of Xeraxian energy weapons struck the grid and bounced back with twice the power. Dozens of Imperial ships were destroyed by their own weapons, creating a spectacular display of chain reactions through their formation. Impossible, Zykin screamed, watching his first attack fail catastrophically. Their defensive capabilities have grown exponentially. Commander Wei's voice was cold as ice as he transmitted to all frequencies. You thought you knew what humanity was capable of. You were wrong. We're not just fighting for survival, we're fighting to show the galaxy that the age of empire is over. From hidden bases throughout the asteroid belt, Earth's next-generation combat ships emerged. These vessels, commanded by enhanced human crews and supported by quantum AI systems, moved with impossible precision. Their hulls, covered in photonic crystals, could bend light itself, making them nearly invisible to conventional sensors. Lieutenant Kira Yashida, leading the Special Tactics Squadron Ghost Wolves, demonstrated why humanity's pilots were becoming legendary. Her ship danced through the Xeraxian formation, its advanced weapon systems targeting critical points with surgical precision. Ghost Wolves Pattern Delta 7, she commanded. Show them why Earth predators hunt in packs. The coordinated attack that followed was unlike anything the Empire had faced. Earth ships moved in perfect synchronization, their quantum link systems allowing them to act as a single organism. Where the Empire relied on brute force and numbers, humanity's forces struck with precision and purpose. Grand Admiral Zykin watched in horror as his mighty fleet was systematically dismantled. Deploy the planet killers. If we can't have this system, no one will. But this was exactly what Commander Wei had been waiting for. Project Prometheus, initiate final sequence. Show them what happens when you threaten our home. Mercury's surface began to crack and shift, revealing the massive weapon system housed within. The planet's core, converted into a quantum energy reactor, powered up. The sight was both beautiful and terrifying. Humanity had turned an entire planet into a weapon. By the Emperor's crystal throne, Zykin whispered, watching as Mercury's surface transformed. What have they done? The answer came in the form of a concentrated quantum beam that cut through space itself. The weapon didn't target the Xeraxian ships directly. Instead, it created a localized space-time distortion that trapped a third of the Imperial fleet in a temporal bubble. Admiral Hayes's voice carried across all channels. That was a warning shot. The next one won't be so gentle. Withdraw your forces, or we'll show you why humanity has survived every extinction-level event in our history. The Empire's worst nightmare had come true. Not only had they failed to crush humanity, but they had also forced humanity to reveal technologies that would forever change the balance of power in the galaxy. Earth wasn't just defending itself, it was emerging as a force that could challenge the Empire's very existence. Commander Wei watched as the Xeraxian fleet began a chaotic retreat. They're running, Admiral, but they'll be back. Let them come, Hayes responded. Every attack makes us stronger. Every battle teaches us more about their weaknesses. The Empire's reign is ending, they just don't know it yet. As the last Imperial ships fled the solar system, humanity's forces began preparing for the inevitable counterattack. The Empire had just learned a harsh lesson. Threatening Earth was a mistake they would not survive making twice. The galaxy was about to witness the full awakening of humanity's potential, and nothing would ever be the same. The Xeraxian Empire's defeat had sent shockwaves through the galaxy. In the shadowy chambers of the Imperial War Council, dissent was growing. General Casthal, his crystalline armor bearing the scars of countless battles, dared to voice what many had begun to think. The humans are not just defending themselves, he declared, his lower arms clenched in frustration. They're systematically dismantling our power structure. Every defeat reveals more of their capabilities, and yet we still don't know their full strength. Emperor Vexther's response was swift and violent. With a gesture, he reduced the general to crystalline shards. Any other objections to continuing this war? The silence was deafening. Meanwhile, Earth's forces were far from idle. In the newly constructed Titan base beneath Saturn's largest moon, Fleet Marshal Dante Rodriguez oversaw humanity's most ambitious military expansion yet. The 55-year-old veteran, his dark eyes reflecting the holographic displays surrounding him, had been preparing for this moment his entire career. "The Empire is fracturing," he announced to his assembled command staff. "Our quantum intelligence networks have detected increasing instability in their command structure. Now is the time to strike." Commander Wei's hologram appeared in the command center. "Marshal, Project Ares is ready. The cybernetic enhancement program has exceeded all expectations. The first division of enhanced soldiers is combat-ready." Rodriguez nodded grimly. "Then let's show the Empire why challenging humanity was their greatest mistake. Initialize Operation Thunderstorm." Deep within Titan's crust, massive hangars opened to reveal humanity's newest weapons of war. The Ares Division, soldiers enhanced with cutting-edge cybernetics and genetic modifications, boarded their specialized assault craft. These warriors represented the peak of human military evolution, capable of fighting in any environment with devastating efficiency. Captain Nadia Volkov, leader of the Ares Division's Alpha team, conducted final checks on her neural interface. The cybernetic enhancements along her spine glowed with a subtle blue light as she synchronized with her squad's tactical network. "All Ares units prepare for deployment," she commanded, her augmented voice carrying through the quantum comm network. "Today we take the fight to their doorstep." The assault began not with a direct attack, but with a series of precisely coordinated strikes throughout the Empire's territory. Earth's forces had mapped the Xeraxian supply lines, communication networks, and defensive positions. Now they would systematically dismantle them. Lieutenant Yoshida's Ghost Wolves squadron led the initial wave, their ships now equipped with advanced quantum phase technology that allowed them to pass through solid matter. They struck at the heart of the Empire's supply lines, destroying crucial infrastructure before the Xeraxians could even detect their presence. "Multiple targets neutralized," Yoshida reported, her ship emerging from the wreckage of an Imperial supply depot. "Their response time is getting slower. They're starting to fear us." The Empire's response was chaos. Their once mighty fleets, now scattered and disorganized, struggled to counter attacks that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere. The humans weren't just fighting a war, they were rewriting the rules of engagement. Admiral Hayes, coordinating from the Hyperion, watched as the Empire's defensive network began to crumble. "Deploy the Ares Division. Show them what happens when humanity decides to evolve specifically for warfare." Captain Volkov's team struck with devastating precision. Their enhanced bodies, combined with advanced powered armor, made them nearly unstoppable in combat. They could fight in vacuum, underwater, or in crushing gravity. The Empire's ground forces, used to overwhelming their enemies with numbers, found themselves outmatched by warriors who seemed more machine than human. "We've breached their inner defense line," Volkov reported, her cybernetic eyes scanning the battlefield. "Their crystal troops are breaking formation. They've never seen anything like us." The Empire's response came in the form of their elite Crystal Guard, warriors genetically engineered to be the perfect soldiers. But even these vaunted warriors found themselves outmatched by humanity's enhanced forces. Fleet Marshal Rodriguez's voice carried across all channels. "Push forward. Show them that humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology, it's our relentless drive to overcome any challenge." The battle raged across multiple star systems as Earth's forces struck at the very foundations of the Empire's power. Commander Wei's quantum intelligence networks had identified key strategic targets, and humanity's forces hit them all simultaneously. "Their command and control structure is collapsing," Wei reported, his cybernetic mind processing battlefield data in real time. "The Empire's forces are starting to fight independently without central coordination." This was exactly what Earth's leaders had planned for. The Empire's strength had always been its unity, its ability to coordinate massive fleets across vast distances. Now that advantage was being turned against them. Admiral Hayes watched as the tactical displays showed more and more Imperial forces falling into disarray. "They thought they were the apex predators of the galaxy," she mused. "They never understood that humanity's greatest weapon is our ability to adapt and overcome." As the battles continued, reports began flooding in from across Imperial space. Colony worlds, seeing the Empire's weakness, began declaring independence. The Crystal Throne's grip on power was weakening, and the galaxy was changing. Captain Volkov, standing amidst the ruins of an Imperial stronghold, transmitted a message that would be remembered for generations. You thought humanity was weak because we fought among ourselves. But those conflicts forged us into warriors unlike anything you've ever faced. We turned our greatest weakness into our ultimate strength. The Empire's worst nightmare had become reality. Not only were they losing the war, but their very way of life was being dismantled. Humanity had evolved from a seemingly primitive species into a force that was reshaping the galaxy itself. As the storm of war continued to rage, one thing became crystal clear. The age of the Xeraxian Empire was ending, and a new era of human ascendancy was about to begin. Emperor Vexter stood in his crystalline throne room for what he knew might be the last time. The once mighty Xeraxian Empire was crumbling around him, its foundations shaken by a force he had fatally underestimated. Through the palace's transparent walls, he could see the massive human fleet emerging from quantum space, a sight that would have been unthinkable just months ago. "So be it," he snarled, his forearms activating ancient controls embedded in his throne. "If our empire falls, we'll take humanity with us." Deep beneath the Imperial Palace lay the Empire's final weapon, the World Breaker, a device capable of causing stars to go supernova. It was their ultimate insurance policy, never before used in the Empire's long history. But humanity had anticipated even this. On the bridge of the HSS Prometheus, now transformed into humanity's most powerful warship, Admiral Hayes and Commander Way coordinated the final assault. The vessel's quantum cores hummed with enough power to reshape reality itself, the culmination of humanity's technological evolution. "All forces, this is Admiral Hayes. Commence Operation Endgame, the Empire dies today." The battle that followed would be remembered for millennia to come. Earth's forces struck with devastating precision, their ships moving through space like a deadly dance choreographed by humanity's quantum AI systems. The Ares division, led by Captain Volkov, breached the palace's defenses with almost contemptuous ease, their enhanced bodies and advanced weapons making the Empire's elite guards look like children playing at war. Fleet Marshal Rodriguez's voice carried across the command network. "Detection systems confirm they're activating the World Breaker. Time to show them our final surprise." From the shadows of quantum space emerged humanity's ultimate weapon, the Nexus Array. This massive construction, built in secret using technology reverse-engineered from a dozen alien civilizations, represented the pinnacle of human achievement. It was a machine that could manipulate the very fabric of spacetime itself. Lieutenant Yashida's Ghost Wolves squadron provided cover as the array moved into position. "Those crystal bastards thought they knew what power was," she transmitted. "Time to show them what real power looks like." Emperor Vexter's voice boomed across all frequencies. "You think you've won? The World Breaker will destroy everything. If we cannot rule the galaxy, no one will." Commander Way's cybernetically enhanced mind had already calculated the optimal response. "Nexus Array charging. Quantum field stabilization at maximum, sir, we're ready." Admiral Hayes stood at the command center, her augmented eyes glowing with determination. "Activate the array. Show them why humanity was never meant to be conquered." The Nexus Array fired, its beam not a weapon of destruction but something far more profound. It created a localized quantum field that isolated the World Breaker in its own pocket of space-time, effectively removing it from normal space. The Empire's ultimate weapon, their final desperate gambit, was neutralized in an instant. Captain Volkov, leading her Ares troops through the Imperial Palace, reported in, "We've reached the throne room. The Emperor. He's trying to activate some kind of personal quantum device." "Take him alive if possible," Hayes ordered. "The galaxy needs to witness the end of the Empire." The final confrontation was almost anticlimactic. Emperor Vexter, his crystalline form radiating defiance, found himself surrounded by humanity's enhanced warriors. His personal shield technology, once thought impenetrable, failed against weapons specifically designed to counter it. "How?" the Emperor demanded as Captain Volkov's forces secured him. "How did you advance so quickly? This shouldn't have been possible." Fleet Marshal Rodriguez, his hologram appearing in the throne room, provided the answer. "Because you gave us no choice. Humanity has always evolved fastest when faced with extinction. You threatened our existence, so we became something new, something stronger." Admiral Hayes addressed all channels, her voice carrying to every corner of what had once been Imperial space. "To all peoples of the galaxy, the Xeraxian Empire has fallen. Earth does not seek to replace one empire with another. We fight for freedom, for the right of all species to determine their own destiny. The aftermath of the empire's fall sent shockwaves through the galaxy. Humanity emerged not as conquerors but as liberators, offering their advanced technology to help former imperial worlds rebuild. The quantum intelligence networks that had helped win the war were repurposed to coordinate relief efforts and establish new trade routes. Commander Wei, standing with Admiral Hayes on the observation deck of the Prometheus, watched as the sun rose over Zurax Prime. They never understood what they were dealing with, did they? Hayes shook her head. They saw our internal conflicts as weakness, never realizing that those same conflicts drove us to constantly improve, to innovate, to become stronger. Every war we fought among ourselves prepared us for this moment. Captain Volkov's voice came through the quantum comm. The last Imperial strongholds have surrendered. It's really over. But everyone knew this wasn't an ending, it was a beginning. Humanity had revealed itself as a force unlike anything the galaxy had seen before. They had taken the Empire's attempt to destroy them and turned it into the catalyst for their own evolution. As the new dawn broke over the galaxy, one truth became clear. Humanity had not just survived, they had transcended. The species that had once been dismissed as primitive had become something extraordinary. The age of empires was over. The age of humanity had begun.